Well, hey, Gundam Maniacs, welcome to another episode of Gundam Explained. With 2024 coming to a close, I thought it'd be fun to go back and look at the kits that came out in 2024 that I also happened to build in 2024. So yeah, let's see what my top 5 are. All right, and I've been able to fit them on my desk. So it's about 8 kits that came out in 2024 that I built. And what I'm going to do is kind of do it Dan Larson style and go through and whittle it down to the top 5 and then go from there to order them. Okay, so out of the 8 here, what's one that would not be in my top 5 at all? And that is kind of easy, and I know I'm going to offend some of my friends, but that's going to be this Infinite Justice. You know, it's cool. This was a fun build. You know, actually even looking at it in person right now, it actually looks really cool. But I think the main thing is this doesn't really evoke what I like from Gundam in general, just because, you know, there's a lot, you know, it's a big reddish purpley thing. I guess the color's like more red here on camera. And, you know, it's just a little far out for a mobile suit, what I like from a mobile suit. I do like the backpack, however it works, where you can like make it look like it's a, you know, a jet fighter or something as it's, you know, flying around. You know, there's probably a better way to do this. But for that, you know, it's cool, but would not be in my top 5. I'm going to admit it. Okay, we're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What else would not be in my top 5? And that's going to be tough, but I am going to go with the special edition from Gundam Breaker 4. This is just another variant of the Strike. And, you know, to be honest, it's cool. It's got, you know, all the weapons going on for it. I think the color scheme is pretty unique. Even, you know, putting the stickers on, the way it looks, you know, the translucent orange here, this is pretty cool, I gotta say, but it doesn't fit in with my criteria of what I like about a mobile suit, and that is kind of its, you know, looking like a machine, you know, something used in battle. But I gotta say, this still looks cool. That's why I kind of hate that I'm doing this. But, you know, another thing too is it's unique that this is from the special edition of Gundam Breaker 4, so I appreciate that aspect to it. But yeah, we're gonna omit this one also. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is next to go? I'm curious when we get to this spot. Comment below what you would omit and what you would then keep. This is very tough for me, and I think it's almost unfair what I'm gonna do, but I am going to go with the Rising Freedom. But it's cool. Like, I love what I'm doing here. I think kind of the same reason with the Infinite Justice and that Gundam Breaker 4 Strike. It's just, you know, it's more on the crazier side of design, even though I think this is really well done. I've come to really enjoy Seed mobile suit designs, even with as crazy as they are, just because they still have some of that UC aesthetic within, but just, you know, going a little far out. I will say that I didn't do proper do with this and like do a matte top coat. I wonder if that would have helped. Maybe I need to go ahead and do that. I just feel because of the look in general with the primary colors and the like exaggerated proportions, is it really the proportions, the edges, all the crazy stuff going on, it just doesn't look realistic to me, but I might do that next year, put a little matte top coat. Anyway, Rising Freedom, that's out of the lineup. Now we're down to the top 5, and I'm sure that you're thinking it's weird that I still have something from Seed here, but you know, I'll get to that once we get to that. Now to order them. To put them in order from first to last. This is tough. You know, this is tough. What I'm gonna do here is, oh my gosh, this is tough. I was like, well, I'm gonna put what I would think would be first over here, but then I was like, well, it would be all of them. So I guess 2 that would not be in first, I'm gonna move down here. You might think it's crazy. I know a lot of people like the Zaku, and I do too, but again, I'm more of a Federation guy, so it's easier for me to, you know, like a Federation suit. I think, though, I am gonna go with this being number 5, even though that seems to be way too high up there. But just getting a look at this. It was so awesome to get these Requiem from Vengeance suits, and I had so much fun with this one, and I have a full review of it up, but just with all the panel lining that was in this and putting, you know, all the ink through all the panel lines, cleaning it up, putting the decals on, not really enjoying the skirt decals, so then I just painted on the lines that were on the decals. And I think the decals really worked on the feet too. There's really a lot here that I think just works, especially putting that matte top coat on it. I think really just helped just give it a cool look like a statue or something. I like little details I put there, the chrome. You know, and this was a fun build for me just in general because I messed up the top coat. I was so excited to just get the top coat on that I did it in bad conditions where you can kind of see some of the frosting is still there, and I just kind of left it as not only a reminder, but there's some weathering aesthetic to it that I enjoy. And then finding out that with some cooking oil, I could clean all that up. So it was an amazing experience. You know, so that's why I'd put this at number 5 is I learned a lot more about the top coating, and I think it just looks cool. Like everything about it is cool. So yeah, that'll be 5. Number 4, I think, is going to be this one right here. So this is the Mastergrade SD Strike Freedom. Something I never thought I'd even bother with. I think in 2023 they came out with just the normal edition. This is the clear color. And why did I even get a clear color? Normally I avoid these things, but it was when I was at Gundam Base in December and I saw this in the display, so I got to see it in person. I'm like, whoa, in person, this thing actually is awesome. It actually goes beyond the Gundam thing for me. A lot of it's a model kit and an action figure because of how sturdy and articulated and awesome it is. Full review of this will be soon. That it does a lot of the things I like outside of the Gundam universe. Again, being a fun build because I just like to build things, so being a fun build. Also just having a cool look to it. I like clear things, usually, you know, not necessarily related to Gundam, but, you know, for instance, like I had this a little clear translucent Godzilla that I got from a blind box. I just love to keep it on my desk. So there's that going on, you know, with it. And then like all the gimmicks, it's got the weapons, it's got the beam saber I don't have on, it's got articulated fingers. Like there's so much about this that just makes it awesome where I don't have to be like, okay, it's not UC and this is clear. Like it's just awesome on its own. And that actually says a lot. Okay, so 5, 4. So out of these, I have to figure out what number 3 is. And I think I know. Post down below what you think is going to be number 3, or what your number 3 is. But for me, it's going to be the Mastergrade Vera Sinanju Stein. So for one, I do love a big, beefy model kit, action figure, etc. You know, every once in a while, there's one I want to grab. In fact, one that came out this year that I need to get is that, the CPAX narrative, I think it is. It's another Vera that would go with this. I really should have got it. But this was given to me by Art Rovo Gundam, sponsor of this video in the Gundam Explained channel. And it was a surprise for me. This is not something I would have bought, but I had so much fun building it. Not only building it, but putting the details where I needed to, the decals where I needed to, and then that matte top coat finish, I think just sealed the deal. Just all around, everywhere, this thing just looks great. And I think a lot of it just had to do with doing just a nice top coat, which again, I've messed up on. And even there's areas where I've messed up on the decals where you can see some of the decals are kind of peeling off. There's probably more I could have done. I don't know if it shows up that well in the light with the camera, but just the way that matte top coat on this just makes this look like an awesome piece. I have it on a stand, one of the more sturdier stands that kind of raise it up high because I think this is a piece and it goes on my top shelf that I want to show off. And it's a unique design. It's not sort of the Federation Universal Century I like, but it's that certain point within lore where there's a lot of crossover between Anaheim Electronics and Xeon stuff. You know, that was happening early on, but when we're getting a major suit for an enemy on the sleeves or Xeon side, and it has a lot of interesting Federation stuff we've got, you know, through the years on it. But also, I mean, it just looks cool, and it was a fun build. So yeah, that's my number 3. All right, so yeah, we'll put that there. And so now it's going to be between these two. And I think this is going to be very difficult between these two, almost like these two would be a tie. But I think I have to pick one, and I think I know what it's going to be. The number 2 is the Realgrade 2.0 RX782. Now, The Realgrade 2.0 about this, again, I got this from Art Rovo Gundam, that worked out, is that it's amazing construction. When you build it, you put it together, you're posing it, and even, again, top coat on this with everything. It's such an amazing experience. Like, I would want this type of attention to detail to all future kits, but I do think because this is an RX782, and that's probably been the most reproduced model kit that has existed, they're able to just further refine what is the basis of what a Gunpla model kit is. And, you know, it's just another RX782, which, you know, I don't mind too much, but to me, this doesn't look too far off from that awesome high-grade Origin that came out. So I think what I'm left with is, it's an incredible feat of engineering, this Realgrade 2.0. But because it's just an RX782, which, hey, I like, it's not like it did anything new or unique visually in 2024 for me. What this just did was show me that Bandai knows how to make some badass 1/44 scale model kits with the Realgrade engineering. And I'm glad they did it with this RX782, because it is like the perfect grade, that Unleashed that came out. They're very similar, and it's just on point, and it looks good. Can't wait to see what else gets that Realgrade 2.0 look. Okay, so 2.0 at number 2, that leaves number 1, and that is obvious. That is going to be the Gundam EX from Requiem for Vengeance. You know, for me, the most incredible thing for me, I think, is we get a new Gundam design, and the new Gundam design, to me personally, is one of the coolest designs that can happen. There's a lot going on with this design in general that I really love, and it's the fact that it takes from previous Gundam, right? It's got a Gundam look to it, but also from 08 MS Team, the way the ground Gundams were designed, especially when we get to the EZ8 and the way they did the mouth face piece there. So it could be some shared technology in universe when it comes to repairing these. And, you know, I'm a type of mecha fan that I'm less armor core and more power loader, if that makes sense. I mean, I think the power loader from Aliens, when I first saw Aliens, is what kind of got me into the idea of people in mechs. And I think this still goes along the lines of that machined bipedal humanoid look, which might be a little impractical, but it's just fun to see how they try to explain the science in Gundam. Whereas Armored Core, you kind of get more of the, it just looks like a tank with legs, essentially, which I don't mind. I think that's cool, but I'm very much attracted to the mech designs that have this very machined bipedal humanoid look, and I think they went all in with this design, so much so where there's a lot of people that actually don't like this design. I hear about that a lot, and I find that interesting, but I think it's cool because it's actually doing those very unique things that not every mobile suit does, having the skeletal look, seeing a lot of the insides. What also helps as a Gunpla that I built in 2024 is all the detail, all the panel linings, because you could mistaken this a few years ago for a Realgrade, and we were just talking about that Realgrade 2.0 and how it almost looks like the Origin, because Bandai is really stepping it up with the high grades, and I think, yeah, this kit is definitely that. And, you know, just personally going through, detailing it, put, you know, just light panel lining in some areas. I didn't go too dark with the panel lining. Yeah, I think I went gray on this just so it didn't look too cartoony in the end. Yeah, I love all the design details. I love, like, even, again, as the mobile suit, how it has, like, you know, the shoulder guns, you know, the look of the beam rifle, the shield is pretty badass. And the stickers worked out great. Usually I don't like stickers like that, but they worked out. Yeah, the decal setup too was interesting. Oh, and then, yeah, who can forget the beam sabers? And I guess I have the other one sitting on the shelf. But yeah, and then putting the little details where I put like the chrome here or there just for fun. I mean, this is my number 1 for so many reasons. The build, the amount of detail, and that crosses over with my preference for designs of a mobile suit or mech. This really nails it, and I love it. So here's a final look of what my top 5 is as of today. It could change tomorrow, but look, these are all great kits. I'm curious if anyone else got any of these, what you think of them, or if you were to rank these, what would be your ranking of these? Again, I'll say that I wish I got the narrative Verka this year to build, but I'll try to get that next year to go along with Sinanju Stein. But also, you know, we're seeing the strike here, right? That Mighty Strike Freedom. I want to get the high grade of that and build that up because I'm really getting more into the strike. So here's to number one. Can't wait to see what my number one for 2025 will be. Let me know below what you think, what your number one is, or even in general, maybe something that didn't come out in 2024, but a kit you built this year that you just think is awesome. Let me know below. Also, again, shout out to Art Rovo Gundam, sponsor of this video and channel. Check the links in the description. You can check out with the code GundamExplained78 to get free shipping on 2 or more items. He also sells on Walmart, so if you have Walmart Plus, you can get cool stuff there. Also, shout out to the supporters that make this possible. If you're interested in supporting the channel, there's links below for that as well. But also, the fun part is our Discord. A link below for that. Our Discord, we have a bunch of fun there. People showing off their works in progress, collectibles they get, just general Gundam chat, lore chat, all that. Be sure to check that out too. But until next time, be cool.